Impound Chaos is a 52-card game presented by Impound Comics. Just as a disclaimer, the cards in this video are not actually from the official Impound Chaos games. They are just prototype cards that we printed at our local printer. Here are the rules and the breakdown of playing Impound Chaos. The purpose of Impound Chaos is to add up all your points from all three cards and a dice roll. Whoever adds up to the highest number wins the round. The winner of Impound Chaos is simple. Whoever runs out of cards first loses. Your deck will come with 10 champion cards, 10 ability cards, 30 power cards, and 2 chaos cards. And this shows the breakdown of how each round should look. 1 champion, 1 ability, and 1 power card. First, let's go over the classes of the character. We have the casters, shadow class, Rivium class, melee class, and steroid X users. First, let's break down the champion cards and what they entail. The top right corner will show the class of this character. Bottom left, we see what class this character is strong against. Below that, we see what class this character is weak against. When you first drop your champion card, you need to check if your opponent is weak against you or if you're weak against your opponent. In this case, we see that they're strong against Rivium users. If the opponent is a Rivium user, you get a +1 added to this card. If the opponent is a caster, you get a -1 onto your total score. The wording on this card is just the general information of what I just told you, along with the name of the character at the top. These are the ability cards. The ability cards will let you know what attack you're doing and what power card helps aid this attack. But be careful, the ability card could also be a negative and impact your champion. You see that there are 3 roads on this ability card. There's a +1 plus power if you're facing either of these 2 classes below it. The +1 would mean you add on 1 more point along with whatever the power number is. In the middle, there's just a plus power against these 2 classes. And the last one is a negative. Whatever your power card will be is going to hit you instead of your opponent. Next, let's get into the power cards. The power cards are very simple. Whatever number is on the card will show how hard you're hitting. That's it. As far as the chaos card goes, it's even simpler. If someone is to flip a chaos card, you just do a dice roll attack against each other. Whoever rolls a 7 automatically loses. If you guys roll a tie, you have to roll again until someone gets a higher number. Now let's actually play a round. To begin a round, both players must pick up 3 cards that they don't reveal. You hold on to these cards for later in the round. Then you start flipping. You start at the top of the deck and you have to get a champion card first to be able to move on to the ability card. Once you have an ability card, you can then move on to the power card. In this case, we got an Impound champion right out the gate. Now we need to find the ability card. There's our ability card. Now we need a power card. There's our power card. Every other card that was flipped under these cards are either going to get discarded if you lose this round, or they'll go back into your deck. Now let's zoom in and break down this layout. You'll see that Impound is strong against shadow users and weak against melee users. Now you go over to your ability card. If your opponent is a Rivium or shadow user, you also get a +1. If they're a caster or Rivium user, you just get a plus of whatever your power card is. In this case, that's 6. However, if your opponent is a melee user, then you get a -6 in this case. And whatever your total score is, you have to subtract 6 from it. Now, if you don't like one of your cards, now is the time to replace them with those 3 cards that you pulled in the beginning. If you do like your cards, just hold on to your 3 cards for the next round. But the replace has to happen before the dice roll. Now it's time for the dice roll. You add up everything that you've seen on your cards, whether it's a positive or negative, plus whatever you rolled on the dice. Whoever has the highest number won this round. Whoever was the winner of the round takes the cards that were on the table, shuffles them, and puts them at the bottom of his deck. If you lost, you have to discard all of your cards. If you lost the last round and you played any of your 3 cards, you can make sure that you have 3 cards again in the beginning of this round. If you won, you do not get to pull more cards. Again, the loser of the round can pick from their deck and make sure they have 3 cards in their hand. If you win, you do not get to pick up any more cards, even if you only have 2. Neither of you can have more than 3 cards in your hand at a time. Now we need to flip again for the next round. We got our champion, Seraph. Now we need an ability card. There's our ability card. And as you can see, it's a negative against other shadow users. So for example, let's pretend our opponent is also a shadow user like Seraph or Ulan. Our power card is 5. So for the example of this video, since Seraph is facing another shadow user and we have a negative shadow on our ability card, we are going to get impacted by the power card, which is -5 to our total score. Now, in a situation like this, you would definitely want to play an ability card or a lower power card if you had it. If not, you just have to accept the blow and hope that the dice roll saves your attack. But you're still going to have to do a -5 to whatever the dice roll is. You're hoping for a high number. And again, the winner of this round gets to shuffle the cards on the table and put them back on his deck. The loser of this round has to put them in the discard pile. And these are the rules on how to play Impound Chaos. To dive deeper into the Impound universe, go to impoundcomics.com, or you can join our Kickstarter right now for Impound Chaos.